microfilariae that are identified in the Philippines. They are actually endemic in Bicol and Western Visayas region and some other parts of Visayas as well. Why? Kasi, alam niyo ba, na yung ating vector ng Anopheles mosquito, mahilig yan sa sagingan. Di ba? The Anopheles mosquito is the vector, mahilig yan sa sagingan. Kaya itong vector na ito, no, is identified sa maraming saging, particularly, baka nga meron na sa Quezon Province. Now, common name, Bancroft tivilarian worm, malaya ng Brugia malayi. Then Brugia timori is in East Timor, na meron din sa Indonesia. Ang periodicity, nocturnal. Ang Brugia, biglang tumataas sa gabi, subperiodic. Ang cephalic space, dito na sila nagkaiba. That's why we can differentiate Butyreria from Brugia based on the cephalic space. Ito kasi is long as wide. Ito longer than broad. So meaning to say, mas medyo mataba ang Butyreria kesa sa Brugia malayi when it comes to cephalic space. Cephalic space, yung mismo ng worm, no? Kung saan suspended yung nucleus. Terminal nucleus, meron sa Brugia malayi, ipapakita ko. Parang ganito siya, no? So yung ating Brugia malayi, makikita natin that yung kanyang, halimbawa sabihin natin, Butyreria bancrofti, ito yung tip ng tail. Si Butyreria walang nucleus dyan, pero may dalawang nucleus kay Brugia malayi, no? And of course, somatic cell is overlapping ang Brugia. Ito naman, hiwa-hiwalay or discrete. Then general appearance, graceful ang Butyreria, kinky ang Brugia malayi. Now, this is from Belisario. Butyreria bancrofti, posterior end, anterior end. Makikita mo dito ang posterior end, walang nucleus ang Butyreria. Tapos, Brugia malayis, dalawa ang nucleus. Brugia timoris, dalawa, pero mas malaki kay Brugia malayi. Okay? Length with ratio, medyo mas malaki, 1.9 to 1 yung ating Brugia malayi. Okay? Next, let's have Butyreria bancrofti. Ang Butyreria bancrofti causes filariasis, and of course, the vector can be parang sa malaria din. That is Anopheles clavirotris, Aedes poecilus, and Mansoni. Na minsan, nagkaiba sila ni Brugia malayi ng ating vector. Ang cost, economic and social burden. Pero, alawa sila kay Anopheles. Kay Brugia may Anopheles din. Life cycle. The vector actually carries yung tinatawag nating L3. Guys, L3 is the infective stage to man. The larva is the infective stage to man. The moment pag ginagat ka ng mosquito, pupunta na yan sa katawan mo. Therefore, the adults will develop in the lymphatic system. So it will target the lymphatic system. Then the adult produces sheathid. Then after that, it will become microfilariae. Microfilariae is the adult form of the parasite, which can be identified in the circulation. Kasi, from the lymphatic system, ang ating parasite will migrate in the blood. At this is the time wherein we can able to diagnose a patient suffering from microfilariae. The diagnostic stage of the parasite is microfilariae. At yan ang nakikita natin sa man. The mosquito, pag halimbawa, kinagat niya ang may filariasis, it will eventually acquire the microfilariae. The infective stage to mosquito is microfilariae, develop into what you call now L1 and become L3, which is infective stage to man, na nasa proboscis or salivary gland ng mosquito. Looking with the life cycle in man, makikita natin that the infection triggers in the lymphatic system at the same time in the blood. That's why it can cause lymphadenitis and lymphedema. Kasi nga, the parasite, the main habitat is the lymphatics. Kaya dito, ang lymphedema is the abnormal accumulation of lymph. Lymph is the tissues, no? Swelling of legs, arm, breast, or genitalia. Whereas elephantiasis, what's the difference between the two? Lymphedema happens during a severe infection. Elephantiasis happens in a chronic infection. Kaya pag elephantiasis, there is already the disabling and disfiguring lymphedema wherein there is the enlargement of the organ like limbs, breast, genitalia. And worst scenario, it will thicken the skin. Kasi nga, ang laman ng katawan niya, kapag lumaki yon, mga lymph, water, no? Fluid, kakusana. So this is the lymphedema, and this is your elephantiasis. And another, hydrocoel. Pinakita ko na ito sa inyo. The fluid-filled balloon enlargement sacs around the testes sa mga lalaki. And worst scenario, because of what you call now leading to blood and protein loss in the urine, there is a kidney damage. Okay? So there definitely kasi nga, ang parasite natin is also in the blood. So it can lead to a certain particular manifestation that will able to compromise other organ as well. Yan ang ating filariasis, no? So that is the hydrocoel. Pag nakipag-date ka ng Valentine's Day, ay, alam ko yan, hydrocoel. Pag nakita mo sa boyfriend mo o kaya sa lalaki na mo. Okay? Siyempre, wasak ka pag yun ang pangatlo, di ba? Kawawa ka naman. Actually, that is in Africa. I don't know in the Philippines if we have cases like that. Pero, ang sabi ni Sir Del Rosario sa akin, we have identified cases in sa Las Medical Center, a lot. Ang dami daw. Kaya humihingi ako sa kanya ng sample, ng blood sample na may microfilariae. Okay? And of course, the lymphatic filariasis, or we call that LF. First, nagkaroon ng asymptomatic microfilariae. Microfilariae meaning to say there is already a microfilariae in the blood. Followed by acute dermatolymphangioadenitis, also previously called adenolymphangioitis. Followed by, kasi itong dermatolymphangioadenitis, dito, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating inflammation of the lymph node or lymphatic system. Then, dito na papasok ang AFL or acute filarial lymphangitis, which is already namamagana yung ating lymphatic system. Followed by, ito na, lymphedema is the worst scenario, and elephantiasis. Then after that, it follows, no, it's a domino effect. Meron tayong genitourinary lesions for the male, and tropical pulmonary eosinophilia, that is actually a severe infection na. So makikita natin dito, that in lymphatic filariasis, no, is one of the infection caused by what you call now microfilariae, like Kucheriella bancrofti and Brugia malayi. So that is actually for the disease. And this is an example of elephantiasis. So ang sabi sa akin dito, irreversible yan, that should be undergo operation. Kasi yung laman dito sa loob is the lymph, it's a fluid that contains some parasites. Okay? And this is your Wuchereria bancrofti, graceful. Yan. At walang nucleus sa dulo. And this is the Brugia malayi, kinky. Tapos pagkikita mo sa dulo, meron siyang dalawang nucleus. The subterminal and the terminal nucleus. The vector Manzoni. Ayan, dyan pala sila nagkapareho. Cost, economic, and social burdens daw. Okay? So, ang disease ni Brugia malayi at Wuchereria ay pareho lang. Nagkaiba sila sa morphology ng microfilariae at the same time some of the vectors. But they have the same disease. Okay? Now, another is Brugia timori. Ang Brugia timori is actually related parasite with the Brugia malayi. Pero kasi ang timori identified lang sa Indonesia and East Timor, having longer, distinctively sheeted microfilariae compared to Brugia malayi, which is widespread in Asia. Pero, in Asia, mas common ang Brugia malayi. Ang Brugia timori is larger and primarily transmitted by Anopheles mosquito or Anopheles barbirostrist. And the adult males, underline, they have subventral adenal papillae. And females, they have larger ovirejectors than Brugia malayi. Kaya medyo mas mataba konti ang Brugia timori compared kay Brugia malayi. So this is your Brugia timori and this is the Brugia malayi. And Brugia timori are actually graceful lang, whereas Brugia malayi are kinky. Nagpapaikot-ikot siya. Pero pareho silang may nucleus in the terminal end. Parehong dalawa. Okay? So, these are your parasite. Let's have Wuchereria bancrofti versus Brugia malayi. Remember, pareho silang nakikita in the blood cells, particularly in our thin smears, blood smears. Now, dito kay Brugia malayi, kinking, two nucleus, Wuchereria bancrofti. They don't have nucleus, pero pareho silang sheeted. Walang dalawang nucleus, and this one, Wuchereria bancrofti, separate yung nucleus. Ito, overlapping ang nucleus. So that is actually the difference between your Brugia malayi, kinky curve, and Wuchereria graceful curve. Next, the eyeworm. Loa. Okay? The eyeworm actually, okay, is considered to be one common parasite identified in Africa. Tinawag siyang eyeworm because the worm itself can be identified in the eyes or migrate in the eyes. Kaya nga, meron siyang sakit na ocular worm, tawag sa kanya, or underlying calabar swelling. Pero, pareho din siya ng ibang microfilariae that causes filariasis. And the infective stage is larvae that can be identified in mango fly. Kapag kinagat ka ng flies or mango fly, then carrier siya ng larva, that's the time you will able to acquire the infection. The loa actually are the vector is the flies from the Chrysops silacea and Chrysops dimidiata. And makikita mo, this is the worm that is actually identified in the eye. The larva develop into adults that commonly reside in some subcutaneous tissue. Remember, malalim ang subcutaneous tissue and there's a possibility that the parasite will migrate ocularly. That is your loa. Okay? Yan. Kung dami, kaya nyo pa ba? Meron pa tayong 1 hour. Mag-extend tayo ng mga hanggang 4:30. Para matapos na natin ang prelims. Okay? Diba? Para next week, quiz na lang. Ano? Marami ba? O konti pa lang yan. Let's have the life cycle. The life cycle, kapag kinagat ka, okay lang kung kinagat ka ng boyfriend mo, di ba? Pero pag kinagat ka ng vector ng Chrysops that contains our L3. Remember ha? Anong infective stage, sir? L3. Yan. Hindi L1, hindi L2. Ano? L3. Yan. Pag kinagat ka ng L3, ano mangyayari dito? These larvae will become adults in the subcutaneous tissue. So, the habitat of the parasite is subcutaneous tissue. Ano ang subcutaneous tissue? Ito yung pinakamalalim na layer ng ating skin. Then after that, the adults produce sheeted microfilariae that are found in the spinal fluid. Ito na. Pwede pa na natin ma-detect ang microfilariae in the CSF, in the urine, sputum, peripheral blood, and even in the lungs. So, pwede po ba tayo makakita ng microfilariae sa blood, sir? Yes, pwede. Pero this one are actually sheeted. Then after that, the infection is subcutaneously that migrates in other vital parts of the body. And sometimes, it can migrate in the eye. After that, pag kinagat siya ng langaw or flies or mango fly, it will take up the microfilariae. The infective stage to fly is the microfilariae. After that, it will develop into L3. That is the life cycle of loa. Okay? L3 hindi pa nakita pero that's the stage of the larva. Pero this one, yung L3 na yan, meron siyang stages na kung saan it will develop into larva pero hindi na pinangalan na filariform or rhabdiliform. Kumbaga, they just mentioned the larva. Okay? Pero yung sa larva na yan, may certain particular characteristics din. The moment kasi, ganito yan, if the larva is not free living, unlike sa ating spongy and hookworms, diba? We can identify rhabdiliform and filariform. Ito kasi, nasa vector. Nakuha. Kaya pa ba ng utak nyo? Wala ko pa kalam kung hindi kaya kasi trabaho ko to. Okay? Ha? Ano? L3 is the third larva. 3 is third stage. Okay? Then after that, L1 is the first stage. Develop siya ng L3. Then after that, infective stage 2 man, L3. Then after that, we have Onchocerca volvulus. Okay? Ano? Kaya pa? 35 slides na lang, 30 slides na lang matatapos na tayo. Sige, 5 minutes na bladder break kasi may sumi-CR na. 3:29, balik kayo ng 3:35.